Week 1 video response for Acting Theory in America. The first reading that we read this week was very basic, not bare bones, but a very basic historical understanding of Stravlasky and how he they kind of changed the game of the theater. Connected, and it connected like really well with the second reading. A couple things that stood out to me was the separation between Stravlasky and Revkicho. I think that's how you say his name. And how Derevchko, like he was in charge of what they were reading, what they were producing, what like literary merits of it, like what the different symbolism means, like the characterization of like everything that an English teacher would care about for the production. Whereas Stravlasky was in charge of like the set, the costuming, the acting choices that were made. All of those things, like the separation of those things was something that stood out to me. I also didn't realize that there was a different kind of acting that like it always hasn't been. You when you're acting, you're pretending to be the person that is in the situation, that is on the stage. Like what's happening on stage is its own world, and you as the character are reacting to the things that are happening in that world. I didn't realize that was actually that was not always how it was done. I always thought like that, like the really affected voices and like the leaving stage with your like right arm up and like the over exaggerated like expressions and gestures. I always thought that was like Looney Tunes kind of stuff. Like that's what like parodies of actors were. I didn't realize that previously was how acting was. So that was really interesting. The other thing that kind of stood out to me was, other than Theseus popping out and being like, yo, self-care, you should participate in it and like relax when you're on stage, that like the different like quotes that were given, one of them being it doesn't matter if you act good or ill, as long as you do it like truthfully. That is kind of what I always thought acting was. That always made the most sense to me. As a theater teacher, getting students kind of like into that headspace that into the just do it headspace is something that is kind of hard to do. The other thing though that like I didn't like agree with was that, or I didn't necessarily agree with, but it kind of confused me, is that Stravlasky like came up with this system, right, to like kind of help inform how to teach people how to act and how to act well. But then again, in the same exact chapter, how to act and how to act well, like saying like a big complaint being is that like people who were acting, like they looked at previous actors and they copied those actors, and everybody was a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And there was no individuality of it in it. It was like everybody was just kind of like insert actor here. But then in the same chapter it says you can't actually teach acting because it's an art. And I was a little frustrated with that as a statement, like especially as an educator. Are there students that like not, are they not going to get it? Yes. But it's kind, it's saying, it kind of, no, I don't know. It's like saying that like with enough practice, like you wouldn't be able to make somebody become a good actor. Like if somebody was like super dedicated, like they like, and they like worked really, really hard, and they would only ever be like a bad actor or a mediocre actor. That seems very disingenuous to me, especially based on the complaint of like previous actors being just a copy of a copy of a copy. So I did not particularly like that. We're not currently doing any production. We're currently all in pre-production right now, where we are going to be doing Legally Blonde as our spring musical for next year. But we are going to be starting rehearsals, auditions and rehearsals in October. So we have started all of the pre-production stuff, and it will be my third musical and third show, helping direct out of 4. So, yay.